report.
Full of his struggles and ramblings and rantings and mumbling and bumbling and stumbling. You decide. Take a look.
I find it awkward. I find it embarrassing. He's really in the early stages of some kind of senile dementia.
They've deliberately surrendered our border to vicious coyotes and drug smugglers. I mean, these drug smugglers, the smuggler, a smuggler!
They're organizing, getting loud, and getting heard, going to town hall meetings and putting MAGA on the hot seat. Trump thought we'd give up without a fight, that we'd be too scared to push back. Well, f that.
Did you know Trump just got trolled so hard he might need extra diapers? The Lincoln Project dropped 8 new parody ads that have Trump crying into his hamberders. One shows him missing golf shots like a blindfolded toddler at a piñata party, then smashing his $2,000 club when he can't handle the failure. Just like when Twitter banned him and he threw his phone into the water. Sound familiar? That's our former president's anger management style. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
He's too old. He's out of touch, losing his marbles at an alarming rate.
They have sinks where no water comes out.
I do want to remind everybody, this is the guy that worked with the former Klansman.
I will be Donald Trump's most loyal advocate to make sure his nominees go to the Supreme Court.
You turn it on, no water comes out. You want to wash your hands, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen this, and you turn on the sink and it's very little.
Ever wonder what happens when our orange friend can't even hit a tiny white ball without having a complete meltdown? The Lincoln Project knows, and they've captured it perfectly in one of their most savage parody ads yet. Picture the scene. Trump struts onto his own golf course, chest puffed out like a peacock with a bad spray tan. He's bragging to everyone within earshot about his perfect golf swing, while his caddy stands by looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. The parody shows Trump approaching what should be the easiest shot in golf, a simple tee-off on a perfectly manicured fairway. Nobody plays better golf than me, maybe ever in history, Trump announces to his visibly uncomfortable caddy. The poor guy just nods, probably wondering if his NDA covers having to witness what's about to happen. Then comes the first swing.
He can't finish a sentence.
Anonymous, really anonymous.
The man doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know where the exit is. He's not sure how to get through a speech.
Mr. President,
Being corrupt and senile is even worse.
Old, outdated, retired, elderly, aging, senile, dementia, slow, confused, idiot, ignorant, sleepy, gaff, bumbling, bad, terrible, disappointing, joke, profanity.
Being corrupt is bad.
It's a complete miss. His club whooshes through the air while the ball sits untouched on the tee. Trump's face instantly turns a shade redder, clashing horribly with that weird hair situation he's got going on. His caddy tries offering some advice, but Trump waves him off like he's swatting a fly. "These clubs are rigged," he mutters, adjusting his MAGA hat. "And these golf balls are fake, probably made in China." The second attempt is even more pathetic. Trump takes what he clearly thinks is a mighty swing, but barely grazes the top of the ball, sending it dribbling pathetically off the tee about 5 feet. By the third attempt, Trump's face resembles a tomato with a blonde wig. He's sweating through his golf shirt while nearby golfers pretend not to notice his struggle. They're all suddenly very interested in the clouds or their shoelaces, anything to avoid making eye contact with the meltdown in progress.
Till Trump's gone and America is free again. And nothing's going to change that.
She speaks in rhyme.
In rhyme? What do you...
Well, the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. And it's weird. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings.
It's more than awkward and embarrassing. It's actually dangerous. Having someone with his mental state, to me, is terrifying.
And then it happens. The stable genius completely loses it after the third miss. He grips his $2,000 custom club and smashes it against the ground while screaming about unfair treatment and how the wind changed direction. The Lincoln Project brilliantly contrasts these tantrums with actual clips of Trump claiming he has has the best temperament and is extremely stable in public appearances. What happens when you take away a narcissist's megaphone? The Lincoln Project's next parody shows us the hilarious reality of Trump desperately hunting for his Twitter fix like an addict looking for a dealer who's gone out of business. Fresh from his golf club tantrum, our favorite man-baby reaches for the one thing that usually soothes his fragile ego.
Republicans, independents, they all know it's wrong to cut veterans' health care, wrong to cut FAA air traffic controllers, wrong to fire FBI agents for doing their jobs. Trump's got it wrong. So does Elon Musk. We're not quitting. Americans from every walk of life. Democrat, wrong to cut deals with corrupt politicians. Wrong to pardon terrorists. Wrong to get in bed with Putin. Wrong for an American president to call himself a king.
His phone. In this brilliantly crafted parody, Trump's tiny fingers frantically tap at the screen, desperate to unleash a tweet storm about how the wind, the grass, and probably the Democrats conspired against his golf game. But something's wrong. The confused look on Trump's face is priceless. Where's his precious Twitter? The Bluebird app that once amplified his every brain fart is nowhere to be found. His expression shifts from confusion to utter disbelief as the terrible reality sinks in. He's been permanently banned, cut off, silenced, the horror. Not one to give up easily on his social media addiction, Trump embarks on a desperate platform-hopping adventure. The parody shows him fumbling through Facebook and Instagram, platforms clearly too complicated for his limited tech skills. In a particularly funny moment, he even attempts to figure out TikTok, all while mumbling about deep state and Chinese spies. Because clearly the only reason his golf game sucks must be an international conspiracy. As his frustration builds, Trump's face grows increasingly red, a color that clashes terribly with his orange foundation. The parody perfectly captures his growing rage as he yells into his phone about fake news and witch hunt, treating his Twitter ban as yet another personal attack in the imaginary war against him. The climax comes when Trump, unable to contain his fury, calls an aide and demands they fix Twitter immediately. When informed that his ban is permanent, we watch his expression cycle through the 5 stages of Trump grief: disbelief, rage, even more rage, and finally, childish petulance. In the ad's most satisfying moment, Trump hurls his expensive phone directly into a water hazard, a perfect metaphor for how he handles rejection. But true to form, he immediately regrets destroying his own property and orders someone to fish it out. So here's the thing, these Lincoln Project ads aren't just clever comedy, they're actually holding up a mirror to a terrifying reality. When a grown man throws a fit because he can't hit a little white ball, it reveals everything about his character. The analysts are spot on. Trump's meltdowns on the golf course directly reflect how he handles the presidency. His inability to handle criticism isn't just embarrassing, it's dangerous. We're talking about someone whose emotional volatility makes him completely unfit for office. Let that sink in. The guy who can't handle losing a friendly game of golf wanted and wants again to control our nuclear arsenal. These ads make us laugh, but they should also make us very, very worried. A man with the emotional control of a cranky toddler shouldn't be anywhere near the Oval Office. The tiny hands that throw tantrums on the golf course shouldn't be anywhere near the big red button. Again,